Hello, my name is Alejandra and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you are new here, welcome. On my YouTube channel, I like to talk about my profession as a certified surgical first assistant and also just share about my life. And on today's video, I am going to talk about how I became a certified surgical first assist without any tech or nursing experience. This is a question that I get asked frequently on here and on Instagram. People are always curious to see how I became what I am, a first assist, without any prior healthcare experience. Sorry, I blanked out there. If you hear any noise in the background, I will do my best, but my boyfriend is watching his favorite Facebook streamers, so that's what that is. Okay, so let's get to it. So a brief explanation on what a surgical first assist or a certified surgical assistant is. We are healthcare professionals. We work in the operating room and we help the surgeon during the surgery. We help in exposure and wound closure and bleeding control and any other functions if necessary. We work closely with anesthesiologists, CRNAs, nurses, and surgical techs to provide the patient with a safe procedure. Surgical assistants and a surgical tech, those terms are sometimes used interchangeably, but they do mean different things. A surgical technologist is more focused on managing the sterile field and also preparing the instruments for surgery and also preparing the OR for the procedure. Depending on the facility that you work at, a surgical assistant, a surgical tech, and the surgical nurse or OR nurse, their roles may vary. A surgical assistant can prep and position the patient, and we can also insert Foley catheters. Okay, so now for the good stuff, how I became a certified surgical first assist without any teching or nursing experience. So sorry, it's my AirPod. A quick background on me. I graduated college in 2017 with my bachelor's in history and a minor in biology. Right after college, I took on a job as a medical interpreter at a clinic in town. I did that for a year, and somehow the surgical first assist program in my area came up on my computer. At the time, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be a doctor. I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. Like, my mind was just very I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I came upon this program. I looked at the requirements, and it was the Mayo Clinic School of Health Sciences. I looked at the requirements. I had a 4-year degree. Other prerequisites were credits in biology, chemistry, anatomy, physiology, probably a few other things that I'm missing. Let's see, the GPA, a minimum of a 2.9 GPA, and I had a 3.0. I graduated college with exactly a 3.0. And to me, that wasn't high enough. I thought I wasn't smart enough. I thought I wasn't good enough, but I still went ahead and applied. I sent in my college transcript. I got letters of recommendations from previous professors and also the providers at the facility. They were willing to write a letter of recommendation for me, which I'm forever thankful for. So I honestly didn't think that I was going to get in, because the more I kept reading about the program and the more I read into what they were requiring applicants to have, I was like, I don't have that. They're gonna be looking for people who have pre-med, backgrounds, which I don't have. I majored in history. I wrote papers, which I love to do, but I still wanted to work in healthcare. Being a medical interpreter at the time, it was so much fun. I learned so much, about not only the community in which we serve, but also on how to treat patients. So that was a really fun experience. I months later, I got a call for an interview, and I was like, oh, okay, yay, I have an interview. And so the interview came, and I thought I blew it. I left my interview crying because I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, I did really bad. I don't think I answered the questions correctly. I was just very like sad and depressed that I wasted all this time to not get in. And then months later, I think it was like 3 or 4 months later, I got an acceptance letter, and I couldn't believe it. Like I actually did it. I got into this program, and I'm thankful for the background that I have. I wouldn't change it. If you're wanting to do something but you think your experience is not letting you, just go ahead and apply. The worst thing that can happen is that the program or the job can say no, but at least you tried, and I tried, and that's how it happened. The program I attended was 1 year long. It was divided between classwork, lab work, and then clinicals. Clinicals was a big part of the program. So yeah, clinicals. Clinicals was a big part of the program. From my experience, I just struggled. Like, we were at the hospital from 7 to 3, and at the time I was working part-time at the same hospital where I had my clinicals. So I would I would be in surgery from 7 to 3, and then come downstairs and work from like 4 to 9 or 4 to 8. And my schedule at the time, I was working every other weekend. The weekends I didn't mind. It was just during the week I was standing scrubbing in all day, and I still had to work for like 4 or 5 more hours and stand some more. So that was rough, but I did it. I was having trouble with my tripod, so if you see me like differently every once in a while, it's because I had to adjust my tripod. But basically that's my experience and background. I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time when I graduated college in 2017. Like I mentioned earlier, I was a medical interpreter, and I knew I wanted to work in healthcare. I wanted to further advance, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to be a nurse because I thought that was my only option. And so what I did, I just Googled certain keywords, certain programs around the area that I lived in, and the First Assist program just like fell into my lap at the perfect time. I read the program requirements, the prerequisites. I had all that. I was able to do everything, and I just went ahead and applied. And that's basically what it is in a nutshell. Fast forward to 3 years later, I have been traveling for a year now. I have 3 years of experience. At the first facility I worked there for 10 months, didn't like it. I went ahead and worked at the other hospital in town, and I worked there for about a year. And at that hospital, I got the majority of the experience that I didn't know I need. Like, for example, at my first facility, I was only doing robotic surgery. And then when I quit that job and went to work at the other one, I was doing, laparoscopic cases. I was working in OB. I was doing ortho. I was scrubbing into different surgeries each day, and I enjoyed that. And then after my year there, I felt like I needed something more, and that's how I got into traveling. Like, I wanted something more. I met a traveler at that facility, and we exchanged information, and then I just reached out to her last year and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about traveling. She gave me a couple agencies that she's with. And from there, I just applied to as many agencies as I could that were offering first assist opportunities. And yeah, and I am now looking to start my 4th travel contract. I never knew that I would do this. In school, I don't remember anyone talking about traveling. You know, you hear about travel nurses, but what about all these other travel allied professionals? And I think that would be a great topic for my next YouTube video. You know, there's just not a lot of resources for first assist, and I want to provide you with those resources. Everyone's experience is different, which is good. That's what we want. I want to talk to people and help people from diverse backgrounds. I am not having a good time with my tripod. But like I mentioned earlier, I want to help people who come from different backgrounds because I came from a non-traditional background. People are so surprised to hear that I wasn't a surgical tech or that I wasn't a nurse before becoming a first assist. Okay, I had to switch my camera to my iPad because I was running out of storage on my iPhone. So I want to be more consistent on here, and then I forget that I have to delete storage to make room for new videos, and it just becomes like a whole process for me. And that concludes today's video. I hope you found it helpful and informative. You know, it is possible to be a surgical first assist without any tech and nursing experience because I'm living proof that it is, you know. I think a good topic for my next video will be how to find travel jobs for CFAs, because unlike nurses and techs, finding a travel position as a CFA, it can be challenging and hard. There's just not a lot of places that use CSAs versus nurses and techs. You know, there's always going to be jobs available for them in more states and more cities. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I appreciate you watching until the end. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you again for the next video.